With regard to the Iran situation, every time that waterway, the Strait of Hormuz, comes up, the Trump administration, the Trump officials are all like, oh, it's fine. Everything is great. We got it under control. It's not going to be a problem. And I'm hearing to the contrary. I'm hearing that there's more to the story of the Strait of Hormuz, that is going to be a problem. And they're not telling us everything. What are they not telling us about the biggest oil crisis in history ever? And you see it with the gas prices. Yeah, and it's worse than when Biden was there. And then they say it's temporary, which is another red flag that there's more to this story. I'm not saying I know anything, but I've heard certain things that they're not telling the full story of what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz, and that is where Iran can win. Economically, Iran can inflict pain. They don't have nuclear weapons, but economically they can inflict pain. I also don't think this is going to be over. This is a long-term thing, and we're probably there to stay. But those two things from the Trump White House, every time they say everything's great, everything is fine with the Strait of Hormuz, that's a red flag. Every time they say this is temporary, the gas prices and food, it's temporary. Every time that's two red flags. And with regard to the oil, nitrogen fertilizer is the other issue that needs to get through that waterway, and that's going to affect the global food supply of the world, um, with the fertilizer, which is probably even more critical than the oil that they get through there. And I know they're not telling the full story, um, of this Iranian war, so it's disturbing. Now maybe they are telling the full story, but I know the media isn't. I know the media isn't reporting the full story, and but it's when I mean, just like a little kid, when a parent says, "How you doing in school?" Everything's fine, and they get a bad report card, and that may very well happen in this midterm election year.